Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. On this channel, we share practical guidance on visa processes, immigration pathways, and related topics to help you make informed decisions. If you are unsure about your visa options or planning your next step, consider subscribing and enabling notifications so you stay updated with the latest developments. Before continuing, please review the legal disclaimer provided in the comment section of this video. A lot of people still think immigration is only for young workers, students, or entrepreneurs trying to chase opportunity overseas. But that idea is changing fast. Because in 2026, one of the biggest groups quietly looking for second residencies and global backup plans are retirees and older families who no longer feel fully secure, depending on just one country. And the truth is, the world feels very different today than it did even 10 years ago. People who spent their entire lives building businesses, paying taxes, raising families, and investing responsibly are now watching inflation rise, healthcare systems struggle, political division intensify, and social tensions increase across many Western countries. And that is why more retirees are beginning to ask a completely different question. Not where can I retire cheaply, but where can I build a long-term plan B, C, and D before the next crisis arrives, because retirement today is no longer only about beaches, golf courses, and cheap living. It is about optionality, safety, healthcare, banking stability, and freedom of movement. A retired couple may spend decades building wealth only to suddenly realize all their money, all their healthcare, all their legal rights, and all their future options depend entirely on one government. That realization changes everything, and New Zealand keeps entering these conversations more and more because when older families think about stability, they are not only thinking about taxes anymore, they are thinking about healthcare quality, food security, political calm, natural environment, English speaking systems, long term residency rights, and whether a country still feels socially functional 10 or 20 years into the future. That is where New Zealand stands out globally. It is one of the few countries that still feels geographically distant from major global tensions while maintaining strong institutions, modern infrastructure, clean cities, and high quality healthcare for retirees and financially independent families. That combination has become incredibly valuable, especially for people coming from countries where they increasingly feel exhausted by political division, social instability, rising crime, or financial uncertainty. And what smart families are realizing is that a global backup plan works best when it is built gradually, not during panic, not during emergency, not when borders tighten, but early, before you urgently need it. That is why more people are beginning to structure their lives differently. Maybe they spend part of the year in one country, part in another, and slowly test where they feel most comfortable. Maybe New Zealand starts as a plan C, then over time becomes a plan B, and eventually perhaps even becomes the primary long term base. Because one of the biggest mistakes people make with immigration is assuming that holding a visa or residency automatically means they are emotionally prepared to move. They are not. You need familiarity, routine, friends, healthcare, relationships, understanding of the culture, banking systems, neighborhoods, daily life. The people who adapt best internationally are usually the people who spent years slowly building comfort before they ever needed to fully relocate. And New Zealand works especially well for that kind of gradual transition. It is familiar enough for Western retirees to integrate comfortably, safe enough to feel peaceful, modern enough to maintain quality of life, and stable enough to feel reliable over the long term. For many families, New Zealand is less about maximizing wealth and more about preserving lifestyle dignity and peace of mind later in life. That matters far more than many people realize, because eventually people stop asking where they can make the most money and start asking where they can sleep peacefully at night. And that question is becoming central to retirement planning around the world. Healthcare also becomes a huge factor. Retirees increasingly want countries where private healthcare is reliable, accessible, clean, and not constantly overwhelmed. And New Zealand continues to maintain a reputation for strong healthcare standards, quality living, and slower paced environments compared to many larger Western nations. At the same time, globally mobile retirees are also thinking financially, not necessarily about avoiding taxes completely, but about diversification, holding assets across multiple countries, having access to different banking systems, reducing exposure to a single economy, and making sure one political shift cannot destabilize their entire retirement. That mindset is spreading quickly among older investors and retirees worldwide, and immigration is becoming part of financial planning itself, not just lifestyle. Planning. The most successful globally mobile families are no longer depending entirely on one country for everything, not one bank, not one passport, not one healthcare system, not one government, not one presidency. They are building flexibility slowly, carefully, and strategically, and that is why New Zealand immigration has become increasingly attractive, not just for young skilled workers, but for long term planners who want security, stability, and optionality for the next phase of life. Because the next decade will reward people who prepare early, people who created multiple pathways, multiple homes, multiple legal options, and multiple places where they can comfortably live. If the world changes faster than expected, and for many families, New Zealand is quietly becoming one of the most attractive pieces of that global backup plan. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe because we will continue covering every major immigration, visa, residency, and citizenship update affecting migrants in New Zealand and around the world as new information is officially released so you can make informed decisions without falling into common traps, and we can assist you to simplify the entire complexity of the process and guide you from start to finish with peace of mind and in a hassle-free way. No worries. Do get in touch with us now on our WhatsApp mobile number +642217860007, also provided in the comment section of this video, and we will get in touch with you as soon as possible. Your journey deserves the right start, and it starts with the right consultation. And now you have it. Thank you for watching.